Hey, thought I'd have a go at some commentary. Unfortunately, I started this key a little bit late in the recording. Something happened to the start of it. Never mind, it's the boring part here where we get to mess around with the most annoying mobs in the game at the moment with their really fun shield and knockout mechanics. Thought it'd be good to maybe improve some of my play, have a bit of a look at some of my mistakes. So here we're having a look at 23 Vortex Pinnacle, Fortified. We've just gone into the new patch now as well with exciting new Augment Evoker, which is busting everything. As you can see, easily pumping 200k in the moment. Very balanced. And we've got a Warlock friend here in the comp that we're working with. At the moment, should really be going with the Holy Paladin, Augment Evoker, Mage of some variety, preferably Fire Mage, and then the Shadow Priest. But we've got the budget Fire Mage in the form of a Destruction Warlock. Alright, so with these packs, we've got a Cyclone to look out for. I want to make sure it doesn't go through. We've also got a debuff to dispel. There you go. You can see it on me right now. I'm going to go for a mass dispel. Yeah. Good. And there's a Cyclone. Hopefully someone should get that. And then the next pack is where we're going to want to pump. That's why I'm holding my Void form at the moment and my PI. So we're just clearing these up and then I'm going to bust the next pack. Looks like we lusted the first pack here, which is, I mean, there's not very many good lust options here. But typically most groups will actually lust this pack or pull the pack that we just did into this pack, and lust is a pretty good option. So this is one of the more dangerous ones here. Looks like I missed actually the main target there with my Shadow Crash. Didn't notice that. And pumping into the fun deflected shield is always nice. So a few mistakes there. Yeah, the main target the whole time is, as you'll notice, has not got my dots on it. I only just got my dots on it now. So something to look out for next time. You can see the debuff is there on the Evoker. He cleansed himself, or the healer cleansed him. Pumping into the shades there because of the deflector shield. For the blast back that's about to come in, I like to push myself up against a wall to mitigate some of the movement. Fortunately, it didn't work out there with the wind zone. I'm getting wrecked here a bit by the volcanics. Maybe think about positioning a bit better for them in the future. Positioning again here so that if the wind knockback comes, I'll just be going down the bridge instead of off the platform. Thinking about the next pack. And I'm going to want to do the same on this pack as well. I'm going to move to position myself up against a wall at some point. Get the fear on the shade there. Didn't quite get to the wall in time here. Had to unfortunately interrupt my own Void Torrent then because of the wind zone. I'm getting all of them apparently. And we're holding on to our cooldowns because we've got the boss coming up soon. So we're just doing our filler rotation here. Holding on to everything. That's why that's probably taking a little bit longer than they ought to, because of course everybody's holding as well. Could have maybe used that as an opportunity to build up some insanity. So I could start with some on the boss. And it's usually pretty hard for me to get a full proper void form in on this boss because there's just so much movement required. If I remember correctly, I think I actually die on this one trying to go into the boss. This will be funny. Yeah, here we go. So I didn't actually know that up until this point. That middle bit there is also a death zone. Had no idea until then. So we learned something then. Very painful point to die as well, because of course I just popped my cooldowns. It was like barely a third of the way through the void form, so a lot of damage missing there. Worst time to die is just after popping your cooldowns. If you've still got cooldowns and you die, it's all good, because when you come back, you still got all your damage ready. So I needed... Oh, I guess it wasn't too important to interrupt. That one was on the tank. So me and the Evoker are the interrupt at the moment. There we go, got that lightning bolt. We also want to try and position to make sure that the mobs on the outside don't trigger. If there's nobody facing them, they will shoot a chain lightning that on a 23 will pretty much one-shot everyone, even though it's not tyrannical. So quite often it's ideal, particularly for healers like Holy Paladin, to have everybody stacked. Fortunately in this fight it's not really an option. You need everybody spread around facing different directions to make sure that none of the chain lightning goes off from the mobs around the outside. So what you have to really worry about here is make sure dodge all this shit. Keep the mobs from spawning around the outside and interrupt the lightning bolts. Lightning bolts are much more important on Tyrannical. They will one-shot if they're not interrupted, so you might want to have a interrupt rotation for that. On Fortified it's not too big a deal. Yeah, yes it was. Feeling a little bit stupid there, trying to explain myself. It's all good though, we've got a fun pack here, we get to Giga Blast. On that pack, really the only thing you need to worry about the cloud bursts from the mobs. They're very infrequently cast, but if they do go off, they will kill someone. But as you see, the whole pack just absolutely melted, nothing to worry about. I don't have it up at the moment, but normally I'd want a Vampiric Embrace here to help out the healer. Even with the healing zone at this level, the amount of damage going out is pretty big. Although the healer seems to be handling himself fine, it's not popping anything for it. Holy Paladin's kind of busted at the moment. Right, so he popped Avenging Wrath and Aura Mastery there. These assassins are always scary on Fortified. If they attack the same person twice, they're just dead. I'll be honest, I have no idea what Vapor Form does. I'm assuming it's not good, but usually just dispel it when it goes through. See there, each time these assassins assassinate when they dash to somebody, they half their health. Yeah, Evoker. Evoker again. Healer's making sure to keep everyone topped. There's me. Did more than half my health. Yeah, me again. Main thing you want to do is just try and keep them disrupted as much as possible to avoid the RNG one-shots. In this pack, we've got the wind bolts from the little guys here and the cyclones. We've also got the debuff from the soldier. That just went on me there, hence the master spell. Healer got the dispel on me then. Sometimes it's worth mass dispelling these mobs when they get the shield on them. It's not really necessary to hit those mobs when we're obviously running away from them. The main reason I'm doing is just try and get a bit more void form uptime or to get some insanity for the next pack. Again, we've got the assassins here. We want to make sure that we're topped, using defensives and disrupting as often as possible. Sometimes with these guys I choose to throw in just a random fear, hoping to disrupt. I don't know actually how useful that is. They do seem to just immediately cast Assassinate afterwards anyway. Soothe the guy in the middle, the dragon, make sure nobody actually pulls. It's a lot of space, it's not likely to happen, but you know, every little bit helps. This pack's got 2 assassins in it, but it is another one you can have fun melting down. Lost my primary target there, so that can be a problem sometimes with the assassinate. They can jump behind your camera. Got the shields there, might want to mess. Yeah, there we go. I decided to mass dispel it. We've got the cloud burst there that need to be interrupted. Fearing the shades. Spitefuls. And now for another fun boss for casters. A lot of the bosses, like the last one, this one, they don't really allow for a lot of sitting still, a lot of movement. So it can be hard to get void torrents in, particularly with volcanic. It's a bit of an awkward one. We need to change direction with the wind, but we've also got to dodge this zone. And I make the mistake of jumping a bit early, worrying about the wrong wind direction, so I panic disperse. And all as well. The disperse covered me. Now this boss you can do some obscene damage numbers with Lust and the haste buff that you get from the winds. If you get lucky enough, don't have to move too much. Now we get an awkward wind here. Need to change direction, but also getting the zone. And at least we don't cock it up this time. Am I doing my void form? Seems okay. Yeah. Cut off the Void Torrent split second early there to make sure I can keep the Void Form up a little bit longer. We've got an extra Void Bolt out of it. As long as you get the final tick in on the Void Torrent, it should totally be worth it. Another fun mob to blast on here. Not a huge amount to worry about here. You've got the heal from the adepts. And you've got the crashing stone that does the big damage. But even though the crashing stone does a lot of damage, it's never going to line up with... There's no other form of damage to worry about here, so it's usually nothing to stress about. I mean, if something can do 90% of your health, it doesn't really matter if there's no other forms of damage. You can also mind control these guys, something that some peeps do at really high keys. It's quite popular to mind control the adept, so you have a healer. Does actually heal your group for quite a significant amount, so if you're struggling, that is something you can do. I usually find it's not really worth it. The level I'm doing, pugging, you tend to just be slowing the team down when you mind control the mob. You're essentially protecting it from damage. But I always enjoy being able to mind control stuff. I'll make sure you're in the lightning pyramid for the lightning lash, and you get out for the overload. So want to make sure the rally is interrupted. Maybe like the grinding zone, lightning pyramid mechanics. Simple, but fun. Now these stars can be fun. Sometimes randomly kill people, so it is worth doing defensives and things like Vampiric Embrace. I would do if I had it up. Try to spread the dots out to as many of them as possible. Halo is really strong here as well. Could probably have done to be a bit deeper in the pack for my Halo. Yeah, don't underestimate these stars. They can kill people. You can skip this pack with Mind Soothe and just go around the side of the stairs. Some people do that if you want to get percentage elsewhere. It's a fairly linear dungeon, so there's not a huge amount of choices you have in terms of trash, but if you do want to make any changes, you can Mind Soothe pretty much all the mobs on this final part here. Got a big pack coming up, probably one of the biggest in the dungeon. So I got all the cooldowns ready. On really high fortified, it is worth considering maybe skipping or having lust for this pack. Here we just go in and blast. You can see I got the target of the lightning lash on me, that's what that sound was, the blue arrow on my head. Means the mob is targeting me. Get inside the lightning pyramid, the grounding zone, to protect yourself. And then get out for the overload. I'd like to slow form myself there, levitate rather, but the evoker grabbed me anyway. These stars aren't too bad because they're not so spread out. Still worth doing defenses. You can see a couple of us going down there. But yeah, definitely easy to clear up this pack as they're all much closer together. Now for the real fight. Even on Fortified, this guy and his Skyfall Nova are still an issue. You can blast this key Tyrannical Fortified, have no problems with the whole thing, and then just not be able to make the damage or heal check for the Skyfall Nova. So here it is, Skyfall Nova. If you're really struggling with this, what you can try and do is get the group to have a bunch of the beacon trinket from the last boss. And super high keys, a lot of people will require it, so that you can just take turns instantly killing it. It's a very dangerous combo here to be looking out for, is when he's doing the Skyfall Nova and you get targetable Chain Lightning. So you want to save defensives for that nasty overlap. I'm going to jump for this mechanic. So yeah, the Chain Lightning there. It's fine, there's no Skyfall Nova. Myself, I'll usually try to keep my Disperse for that particular overlap. So we can see the overlaps coming up now. Here's the Skyfall Nova. And he's Chain Lightning the Evoker, so the Evoker will probably want to use something. He looks like he's fine. I've got Vampiric Embrace coming up, so I'll be thinking of when I want to use it next, probably on the next Skyfall Nova. This whole fight is really easy, it's just making sure you hold stuff for the Skyfall Nova. Sometimes that's what can be really annoying about it. A fight like this is really simple, really easy. There's not really much to do about it. There's just like one kind of gimmicky mechanic. Can kind of feel a bit shit when you just can't make the heal check or the damage check for it. Like this whole fight is literally just a Skyfall Nova. There we go, blast and cooldowns at the end, so pretty much it's a done deal at this point. Very unlikely that we fall over here. Here's the nasty combo, so I disperse there quickly. I cancel the disperse as soon as the lightning goes, because I want to do more deeps and secure the kill. And there we are. Very nice run, very smooth. Not only one death from myself. It wasn't too far for 2 chests either. So very well done from everyone. And if you still managed to watch it all the way through to here, thanks so much. I hope the first time commentary wasn't too rough. Appreciate any tips or advice in the comments below, and have yourself a good one. Much love.